It was a great pleasure this morning to listen to the proceedings so far. First, I am reminded of a gardener. Yesterday, we have several flowers in our garden, all roses in full bloom. So what Ushaji has done is she has put a muslin cloth over those flowers, collected all the flavor and fragrance, distilled it, and gave us in a condensed format. That is the basic function of a fragrance chemist. So she hasn't left a single flower, but the essence, the quintessence of every flower was extracted. The volume is large. 6 hours, 6 into 60, 360 minutes, 36,000 words were uttered at the rate of 100 words per minute. That was the delivery speed. So she has absorbed everything. And to distill it in a most concentrated fashion without losing anything, that was the beautiful fractionation and distillation chemistry you have performed. I am thrilled to listen to that. Thank you so much. Then, everything is guided by a fundamental philosophy. Director Dr. Jyoti Reddy did that. I use the word director with a purpose, with a meaning. Without a direction, you can have a lot of energy. There is a factor in physics which is called vector. It's not enough you have magnitude. You have large mass, you have large energy. Direction, velocity is the one which determines success. We have seen several efforts, lot of effort to put in, but no direction. So in physics, we are guided not by speed, but by velocity. And velocity is given meaning to by the direction, the arrow of which way we should go. So that is precisely what you did to this conference, as you have been doing professionally from your executive desk all the time. So I have noted that directional aspect of physics being brought out into this conference. Very happy to note and learn. It's not just noting. I learned this because I am a learner. Then I had the privilege of listening to Mahesh Balakrishnan on the IB scenario. I'm quite familiar with IB because I have two grandsons who have successfully navigated the IB system, quite familiar with that. And I'm also familiar with a number of working scientists from the nuclear field who have been working with students beyond the teacher level, designing, redesigning, and putting sciencey stuff into their material. So that is well known, and I'm quite familiar to find out the overall aspect of it. But as a system of education, I must say I'm an admirer of the system for the single reason that Gardner's 5 mindsets, the IB makes an effort to bring that. When the IB learner profile was drawn by Mahesh Balakrishnan, I was looking at the centrality of the teacher. Now, not only the teacher leader in IB, every teacher is a leader. Yes. The teacher has to be like the nucleus. It has to be positive. And if the teacher leader is positive, the others will align themselves, the electrons around the nucleus in a specific pattern, and a structure is formed. The formation of a structure from a positive nucleus, right from the simple one. The hydrogen proton and one electron moves. The electron moves only in a predetermined way, not in a random way. So that structure has been brought to it by the positivity of the centrality of leadership on that. It is not only for the hydrogen atom. Take the largest atom, Organison, 118 protons. All the 118 protons are brought together into nucleus, and 118 electrons are revolving in fixed, predetermined paths. That is called structure and form and function. Now, positive leadership is very much like the nuclear architecture. So from Balakrishnan's presentation, I take this metaphor and then find out the positioning and configuration and the structure formation is extremely important. Balakrishnan also spoke about relationships. Relationships determine our fate and destiny, no doubt about it. And you can have good relationship, bad relationship, and a wide spectrum of ugly relationships or finest relationships. But we should understand There is a theoretical limit to the number of relationships you can build. You cannot build relationships with 1.3 billion people of India. No. There is Greikuna's formula in management class which tells you that the number of relationships R is equal to n into 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus 1. So those who are familiar with the Greikuna's formula will always know that a principle. To the leader principle, if 5 people are reporting, there are 75 relationships to be maintained. And that multiplies maddeningly when the number of reporting teachers increases. So management of relationships in a scientific manner is extremely important, and leaders should be aware of the restraints and constraints of numbers in their operation. Conquest of happiness, that was what Bertrand Russell described life itself. So conquering happiness, making it part and parcel of your living system, and then make it do what you want it to. That's, where you conquer the Himalayas, you go on top of that. So conquest of happiness is one of the quests of life. And if that is placed in the primal phase, a lot of success has been done. A word about the mindset, the teacher's mindset and IB teacher's mindset. In the globalized international mindedness which an IB student is expected to possess in abundant measure, there are 5 mindsets which Gardiner has specified. The disciplined mind, the synthetic mind, the creative mind, the respectful mind, and the ethical mind. If these 5 mindsets have to be transferred to the IB students, obviously the teacher should be possessing it in abundant measure. Without possessing something, you cannot redistribute it. So every teacher should necessarily be a repository, an enlarging repository of all these 5 mindsets so that they can be given, transferred to, because largely we are distributors. That can be done in the supply chain of the conquest of happiness. So that was a great insight. It was a window to the world of the one stream of education, which is being followed by the advanced countries, and towards many countries are approximating today. We got a glimpse of it, and we know how the teachers and the teacher leaders should fit into the IB system, thanks to Mahesh Balakrishnan. So these are my observations as I sat through for the last an hour with you. Thank you very much.